Hello, everyone. So today we are going to do part two of why meditation is so important.
The reason you should meditate, mate, is it'll improve and or every aspect of your life, every facet of your life. You'll have a place to look at reality from, to reflect from. What am I thinking? I sit down quietly, I check the body, I check that I'm not holding tension in my face, in my tummy, in my legs. And then I bring my attention to the breath for a little bit. And you'll notice that when you close the eyes and relax and bring your attention to the breath, that all your mind is just this cycle of thoughts. As that Joe Dispenza, who come on my podcast, said, 90% of the thoughts you thought yesterday, you'll think again today, and you'll think them again tomorrow. We've been programmed, conditioned. When you're meditating, the part of practice is to learn to observe them thoughts and recognize that's the first layer of the outside world, is your thoughts. It ain't even you. We think that we are our thoughts, but it's just an external phenomena. It's got matter, it's got charge, it's got energy, not matter, but it's got energy, it's got weight. So like you look at it as being outside of you. Eventually the thoughts start to abate. There'll be times in meditating, like even me, I've been doing it 13, 14 years. Sometimes I think, I'm just sat down thinking with my eyes shut. What's this? What am I going
That's what
to
it
achieve
sounds
from
like when
this?
people describe it.
Sat down thinking of, I should have done that, I shouldn't have done that, when am I going to do that? But after a while, there is something else in there, and it will change everything. It will change the way that you fight, it will change the way that you exercise, it will change the way that you feed.
Yeah, meditation does changes us because it changes our frequency. It changes our thoughts. Our thoughts become reality. And it teaches us to be mindful. He's absolutely right.
You can find your car keys, find a parking place, you can make money in the stock market, and my opinion is that the most important thing you can do with remote viewing is discover who you are. Now, it's important for me to tell you that remote viewing is not a spiritual path, but if you learn to quiet your mind and move your awareness into timeless awareness, you are likely to begin to experience things that surprise you, give you another view of reality. For example, if you look in the mirror in the morning and think that who you see in that mirror is who you really are, you're in for a lot of suffering, in my experience. My opinion is that who you really are is non-local awareness, independent of space and time. You are that awareness that allows you to move your experience, to move your consciousness, to move your perception anywhere in the world, independent of space and time.
After all, we're just avatars, right? Who we really are is within us. It's our consciousness. It's our soul. What we think is our soul, anyways.
What were the first benefits that you found in the practice as the habit grew, as it became part of your life?
Well, the first benefits were that ability to have the quietness, the tranquility, the ability to get energy from it rather than sleep. It would provide me more energy than sleeping. Those kinds of benefits. But then it went on to develop an ongoing equanimity, that centeredness, that ability to go above myself and my circumstances and to look down at them from a higher level with a clarity and an objectivity.
Yeah. So I've been in many, many millionaires' homes, vicinity, offices, and most of them, I would say about 95% of them have crystals in their homes. I would say that most all of them meditate. I can think of two of them that I don't know if they meditate or not. I know one of them, this particular person that I'm thinking of is a billionaire, and he's got one of those beautiful minds. Like he's just I don't want to compare this person to anybody else, but very like his mind just is non-stop. I don't know if he has a meditation practice, but I do know that he taps into the quantum and he taps into his own abilities in his own ways. So what I'm trying to get at is all wealthy people vibrate at a certain frequency. And one way to raise our vibrations and to vibrate at a certain frequency is to meditate. And what he just said, it brings about groundedness, equanimity, centeredness. It allows us to get in touch with who we really are. It has so many different benefits. It's incredible.
And we've done studies with novice meditators. We were curious to see what kind of biological changes would take place in 1 week if you went all in. We draw blood and we look at about 2,882 metabolites. And at the end of 7 days, the novice meditators, almost 100% of them, show substantial biological changes in their blood that suggest that they're living in a different environment. Now, here's the weird part about it. They're actually making those changes inwardly. And I say to our research team, where are those chemicals coming from? Where are they coming from? The person's not taking any substance. It's coming from within us. And so the nervous system starts manufacturing a whole pharmacy of chemicals equal to the person's intention and emotional state.
Yeah. When you meditate, it changes us at the molecular level. So there is let me see if I can find it. Emoto's Masaru experiment.
Dr. Masaru Emoto, who did all this work with water, his first experiment was to put a bottle of water, have all of his students send negative energy. I hate you, you're stupid, you're a fool. Took that water, froze it in little petri dishes, bring it out, stick it under a microscope with a camera on top. It forms these big, ugly black blobs. Take the same kind of water, another bottle, send positive energy to the water, freeze it, put it under the petri dish when it's melting, forms beautiful snow crystals. So we know that two things were fascinating. Water has memory, and 85% of your body is made up of water. Your brain is made up of even more water. So when you're saying negative things to yourself, you're affecting yourself in a physiological way.
We're like 60% water. So all of the negative thoughts, we are programming our bodies. And I always tell my Reiki students this, like one of the best ways to practice Reiki is to Reiki your water, to send positive intentions. Even if you're not attuned to Reiki, when you're drinking your cup of coffee, your tea, your water, whatever, speak beautiful things into it. Speak what you want to become. I always talk to my cacao and my water and thank it for curing what it needs to be cured within my being, for bringing me back to wholeness, bringing me back to my higher self. That is one of the easiest way to do it. It's one of the reasons why we pray over our food. I tell my Reiki students to also Reiki their food, send positive intentions into the things that you are consuming. It's because our bodies are mostly made out of water. And so being really thoughtful about your thoughts and your mind, it is super important.
We vibrate on the frequency. Emotions is a magnet. Thoughts manifest. Now you forced to take action. Fail, but fail faster, because endurance is a test. We only learn when we fall. Every no turns to yes. Take a deep breath. Don't become overwhelmed by the stress. Think about what you overcame. The situation will be next. Life is long, live it, survive. Move on to the next. I made mistakes, I'm a new man, but God gave me a second chance. No fear, I gotta go for mine. The top is only for those who climb. It's a lonely road when you're chosen, so never wait to be given roses. Grow your own. Stay focused. Your time is approaching. And treat family and friends the same when it's time to judge, because you can see through water, but not through blood. Never be afraid to fail. We only lose for not trying. And procrastination is another form of dying. Every life serves a purpose, but a fish won't climb a tree. Open your eyes and see what you really want to be.
That was powerful. Yeah, the only constant is change, right? And so what I mean by that is, even if you are in a state of suffering, that won't be forever. You can count on coming right back up to joy at some point or another. But even joy won't be forever, because then we come back down. And so it's this infinite wisdom of we are always changing. We are always feeling, and we're feeling more than one emotion.
If anyone has ever practiced meditation, you sit still and you focus on one thing. When they say clear your mind, that's not true. You don't clear your mind. That's impossible. But you do focus on one thing. It could be your breath. It could be your mantra. It could be a dot on the wall. It could be a sound. It doesn't matter. When you get distracted or you have another thought, like, ooh, did I leave the oven on? What you do is you label that a thought and you push it out of your mind and you say, I'll deal with that later. And you go back to focusing on the one thing. There are tremendous benefits to the self of being present and calm and clear-headed by practicing meditation. But that is not the sole purpose of meditation, just so you can be present. In fact, I believe that you are not present until someone else says you are. So the reason you practice meditation is so that when you're sitting with a friend and they're telling you about their good day or their bad day, you are focused on one thing and one thing only, what they're telling you, as opposed to waiting for your turn to speak. And you may have thoughts, and you say, that's a thought, I'm going to label that and deal with that later. And you remain so focused. And there's a bang in the background, but your eyes don't leave your friend because you're so present. At the end of the conversation, they will say to you, thank you for listening. They will say, thank you for being present. They'll say, thank you, I feel heard. Congratulations, you were present. Congratulations, all that meditation was worth it now. The practice of meditation, though it has benefits to yourself, the reason to practice meditation is as a service to others.
Ooh, that hit. Subscribe.